My beloved child. Big news. The truth they tried to hide can no longer stay hidden. A name was discovered where nobody expected it to be. A secret connected to your soulmate is finally coming into the light. And when that truth is revealed, everyone will be shocked that the name at the center of it all is yours. Listen carefully, because this message is not arriving by accident. For a very long time, there have been people around your soulmate who believed they understood the entire story. They thought they knew what your soulmate wanted. They believed they understood the choices that had been made, the reasons behind the silence, and the future that seemed to be unfolding. They looked at the distance between you and your soulmate and assumed that the chapter had ended. They looked at the lack of communication and assumed that feelings had disappeared. They looked at the obstacles and assumed that love had lost. But what they did not understand was that the most important part of the story was never visible to them. While everyone was focused on appearances, a hidden truth remained protected beneath the surface, waiting for the exact moment it was meant to be revealed. The truth is that your name has never completely left your soulmate's heart. Even during moments when they tried to move forward, even during times when they convinced themselves that letting go was the practical choice, there was always something inside them that refused to forget you. They could silence their words. They could hide their emotions. They could pretend to others that everything was fine. But they could never fully erase the connection they felt whenever thoughts of you entered their mind. That connection remained alive even when nobody else could see it. Don't skip. There were nights when your soulmate sat alone with thoughts they could not explain. They remembered conversations that seemed ordinary at the time but became priceless after separation. They remembered moments that others would have forgotten, yet those memories stayed vivid in their heart. They replayed events over and over, wondering how life might have unfolded differently if certain choices had been made. They questioned decisions. They questioned timing. They questioned circumstances. Most of all, they questioned why your presence continued to influence them long after everyone expected them to move on. What nobody realized was that a hidden piece of information was quietly making its way toward the surface. It was something that had remained buried beneath misunderstandings, assumptions, and fear. Certain people knew fragments of the truth but never shared them. Others suspected something important but lacked proof. The complete picture remained hidden. Yet destiny has a strange way of bringing concealed things into the light when the time is right. And that time is approaching now. Your soulmate recently encountered a situation they never expected. It began with something small, something that seemed insignificant at first. A conversation. A message. A memory. A document. A detail that most people would have ignored. Yet that single detail triggered a chain of events that started uncovering layers of truth that had been hidden for far too long. As each layer was removed, a clearer picture began to emerge. And at the center of that picture was a reality nobody had fully understood before. The more they investigated, the more surprising the discoveries became. Certain stories they had accepted as facts suddenly appeared incomplete. Certain explanations no longer made sense. Certain people who seemed trustworthy suddenly appeared questionable. Your soulmate started realizing that many of the assumptions surrounding your connection were built upon missing information. The story they had been told was not the full story. The version others believed was not the complete truth. Don't skip. As these revelations continued unfolding, your soulmate found themselves thinking about you more intensely than ever before. Questions began filling their mind. What if they had misunderstood important things? What if certain obstacles were never what they seemed? What if the distance between you was influenced by factors neither of you fully understood? What if the connection that never disappeared was trying to tell them something important all along? The answers did not arrive immediately. Instead, they appeared piece by piece, like fragments of a puzzle being assembled after years of confusion. Each new discovery connected with another. Each hidden detail revealed a larger truth. And eventually, the picture became impossible to ignore. The evidence pointed toward one undeniable reality. The bond between you and your soulmate had always been far more significant than anyone realized. Meanwhile, people around them began noticing changes. Your soulmate became quieter, more reflective, more focused on understanding the past. Certain conversations that once seemed unimportant suddenly became meaningful. Certain memories returned with surprising intensity. Even people close to them noticed that your name appeared more frequently than before. Sometimes directly, sometimes indirectly, but always present. At first, those around them dismissed it. They assumed it was temporary nostalgia. They assumed it would pass. Yet as days continued, the pattern only became stronger. The hidden truth was drawing your soulmate toward a realization they could no longer avoid. The connection they felt with you was not based on imagination. It was not based on wishful thinking. It was connected to something deeper, something rooted in truths that had remained concealed for too long. Don't skip. Then came the moment that changed everything. A revelation surfaced that nobody expected. It connected multiple unanswered questions. It explained certain events that had never made sense. It exposed misunderstandings that had influenced major decisions. Most importantly, it revealed that your name had been connected to this hidden story in a way that shocked everyone involved. The reaction was immediate. People who believed they understood the situation suddenly found themselves speechless. Individuals who had been confident in their assumptions began questioning everything. Some felt disbelief. Others felt regret. A few felt embarrassment. Because the truth exposed how incomplete their understanding had been from the beginning, your soulmate experienced something even more powerful. They felt clarity. For the first time in a very long time, pieces of their emotional journey started making sense. The confusion that haunted them began fading. The unanswered questions that kept them awake at night finally started receiving answers. And every answer seemed to point back toward you. The realization was overwhelming. Memories returned with incredible force. Emotions they believed had been buried resurfaced. Feelings they thought had disappeared revealed that they had merely been hidden beneath layers of doubt and uncertainty. The truth did not create new emotions. It revealed emotions that had always existed. As this process continued, your soulmate found themselves confronting difficult realities. They realized how much influence fear had played in previous decisions. They recognized how easily outside voices had shaped their perspective. They saw how misunderstandings had altered the direction of important moments. And perhaps most importantly, they understood that certain opportunities had been lost not because love was absent, but because truth was hidden. Don't skip. There is someone around your soulmate who never expected these revelations to emerge. This individual believed the past would remain buried forever. They believed certain information would never surface. They assumed that time would erase questions before answers could be found. But hidden truths have a way of resisting permanent concealment. Eventually, reality demands to be seen. Eventually, facts demand acknowledgement. Eventually, secrets lose their power. The emergence of this truth has already begun shifting energy around your soulmate's life. Conversations are changing. Perspectives are changing. Priorities are changing. What once seemed impossible now appears worthy of reconsideration. What once seemed finished now appears unfinished. What once seemed forgotten now feels impossible to ignore. Your soulmate may not express everything immediately. They are still processing what has been revealed. They are still organizing thoughts and emotions. They are still understanding how this new information affects their view of the past, present, and future. But something significant has already happened. A wall that once existed inside their heart has started cracking. A barrier that once prevented clarity has started breaking apart. And as those walls fall, your name continues appearing in their thoughts. Not because someone forced it there. Not because circumstances demanded it. But because the truth naturally leads them back to you. The hidden revelations did not create the connection. They exposed it. They revealed how deeply rooted it truly is. They revealed how impossible it has been to erase. They revealed how much influence it still carries. Don't skip. There will be moments ahead when your soulmate feels compelled to revisit memories they once avoided. Certain places may remind them of you. Certain songs may awaken emotions they thought were gone. Certain conversations may trigger realizations that feel impossible to ignore. These experiences are not random. They are part of a larger process of understanding. They are helping your soulmate see the story from a perspective that was unavailable before. As this understanding grows, confidence replaces confusion. Clarity replaces uncertainty. Truth replaces assumption. And when truth takes its rightful place, decisions begin changing. Actions begin changing. Expectations begin changing. The future begins changing. Many people will be surprised by these developments. Some will struggle to understand. Others will attempt to explain them away. A few may even resist them. Yet none of those reactions can alter the reality now emerging. The hidden truth has already begun its journey into the open. What was concealed is becoming visible. What was misunderstood is becoming clear. What was denied is becoming undeniable. Your soulmate feels this transformation even if they cannot fully explain it. Deep inside, they know something important is happening. They sense that a chapter they believed was closed may not be closed after all. They sense that certain answers are arriving for a reason. They sense that the story involving your name is not finished. And when the full truth becomes impossible to deny, many people will remember this moment. They will remember the day hidden information surfaced. They will remember the day assumptions collapsed. They will remember the day a shocking connection became visible. Most of all, they will remember the name that kept appearing throughout the entire journey. Your name. Because the truth that is finally being revealed does not point toward strangers. It does not point toward random circumstances. It points toward a connection that survived silence, distance, confusion, and time. And as more pieces continue emerging, the shock surrounding your name will only grow stronger. For years, people focused on what they could see. Now they are about to discover what was hidden. And what was hidden may change everything. Don't skip. The moment the hidden truth began spreading beyond a small circle of people, the atmosphere around your soulmate changed in ways nobody could ignore. What had once been whispered quietly behind closed doors was now becoming impossible to contain. Questions were being asked. Old conversations were being revisited. Memories that had been dismissed years ago were suddenly being examined from an entirely different perspective. People who once spoke with certainty about your situation no longer sounded confident. The foundation beneath their assumptions was cracking, and with every new revelation, more pieces of the story came into focus. Your soulmate found themselves standing at the center of something much larger than they ever imagined, realizing that the truth they were uncovering was not merely about the past, it was about understanding why your connection had continued to survive despite everything that happened. For a long time, your soulmate believed they had accepted reality. They believed they had reached a place where they could live with unanswered questions. They convinced themselves that some mysteries were never meant to be solved and some stories were never meant to receive proper endings. Yet deep down, there was always a part of them that felt incomplete. No matter how much time passed, no matter how busy life became, there remained a small voice inside their heart asking the same question over and over again: why could they never fully let go of you? Why did thoughts of you continue appearing during unexpected moments? Why did memories connected to you carry a different emotional weight than memories connected to anyone else? They never found satisfying answers. Instead, they simply learned how to silence the questions. But now those questions were returning stronger than ever, and this time they were being accompanied by evidence that could no longer be ignored.